Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Schnapper and welcome to another YouTube tutorial video. Today we're going to be talking about the integration of Google Classroom and Google Meet. And yes, if you have been using Google Classroom today, you would have received a notification that Google Meet or Hangouts Meet is now available on Google Classroom. Okay, so today I'm going to be discussing what you can do with it and obviously how you can access it on your Google Classroom. All right. So what you need to do is you need to open up a web browser of choice. I'm using Google Chrome, and you will sign into your Gmail. If you're a student at TDSB, it'll be in the form of first dot, last name at student.tdsb.on.ca. Now once you've signed in, you will see this Google Apps wafer. You click on that, and you will be going to your Google Classroom. All right. Now I've already made a demo class, so you can see it as if you never change the settings or you've already received a reminder, as I have, okay? So once I've clicked on my demo class, all right, yours will be whatever class you have already existing. You will go to your top right-hand corner right over here under Settings. You're going to click on Settings and scroll down until you see this little section under General, and it says Meet, Classroom now supports Meet. You're going to click on Generate Meet Link, and now it has created a link for you that you can use for video conferencing or audio conferencing. Now at the moment, the setting to make it, to have it visible to students is on. So if you toggle to the right, you're making the link visible to your students. If you click to the left, it's invisible. Okay, so if I toggle it to the right, for instance, and I press save, what you're going to see is that the link is going to appear on our page right over here at the very top, right below the class code. So for a student, it will be very similar. The class code will not be present, but they'll see this link at the top as well. So if they wanted to ask you a question, or they wanted to just maybe attend a meeting that you just scheduled, an informal meeting right now, they can click on this link and they can go ahead and join your meeting. So I'm just going to click the link right over here that was generated, and you're going to be able to see me. Okay, so if you've watched my previous YouTube video about Hangouts Meet, you would know exactly the features and the limitations and so on and so forth I walked you through. They haven't changed. Okay, the only difference now is that Hangouts Meet is on Google Classroom. So to actually continue on with the meeting, you're going to hit on Join Now. And it's going to ask you if you want to add any additional people. Now keep in mind, because this is a TDSB domain, meaning that the email addresses have a domain of .tdsb.on.ca, any other Gmail addresses that do not have that, you can't unfortunately add to the meeting. Not yet anyways, okay? And I'm not going to be adding any other people, so I'm going to click X. And whenever my students come in, they're going to be able to see me and I'm going to be able to see them as well. And that count of people at the meeting will increase right over here. So let's say there was a student that attended your meeting and you, for example, didn't want them attending that meeting, then you can go ahead and click on this icon right over here, select them, and then press End Call, and that will remove them from the meeting. Now, let's go back to our Google Classroom, and I wanted to talk about some limitations to this, okay? So a couple of things that you need to be very, very careful with. If you have this link visible, it will be visible indefinitely, meaning that the student can go ahead and click on the link and attend the meeting thinking that you're online when you're actually not. Okay, so only turn it on when you want to when you want to have an informal meeting with your students. Like if you wanted to ask them how they're doing or what work have they been completing and so on and so forth if they have any questions, okay? Another thing that I wanted to mention was that let's say you just had a meeting with your students. What I advise you to do is go back into your setting, okay? So once you've completed your meeting and you hung up, the call is ended, is you click down here right next to your meeting code on a downward arrow and you press reset. Now the reason I say this is because if a student, for example, copied your link and you turn this off and then you use that link to do a private meeting with a parent, that student can join your meeting accidentally without knowing that you were having a meeting already. Okay, so that's one of the main reasons, security and safety. Now, in general, I do not advise using this feature for private meetings. Like if you're going to be having a meeting with a parent because you're concerned or you wanted to discuss something, do not do it through here. Set up a private meeting through your calendar, okay? That's very important. And like I said, if you don't want the students to be able to see it, toggle it to the left, click Save, and now when I go back to my Google Classroom homepage, you can only see the classroom code, okay? A couple of other things that I wanted to mention is that if you are, for example, a kindergarten teacher, and let's say that you didn't use the TDSB domain to create your Google Classroom, you instead went ahead and created your own private Gmail to create a Google Classroom. The issue now is that, unfortunately, you will not have this Google Meet functionality in your Google Classroom. It is specifically for anyone that has a G Suite. So if you're using a private Gmail without the G Suite, you won't have this functionality. Now, given the fact that they have it for Classroom's G Suite right now, doesn't mean that they might not do it for private Gmails as well later, but that will probably happen much, much later, if at all, okay? The other thing that I wanted to mention is that the functionality will be available up until July 1st, 2020. And after that, Google will decide whether they want to keep this functionality available on your Google Classroom as a premium or not. Okay? So that's pretty much it. And otherwise, the Hangouts Meet platform is pretty much the same. You can still record, you can still have private meetings, you can still toggle your camera on, off, audio on, off, turn on the captions, and so on and so forth. I hope this helped, and give it a try, and I wish you all the best. Take care. Bye.